So, Sandy, what are you doing?
I just want to see some guys.
Let me just say, you are very attractive. I'm in love with you.
Really?
Yes.
Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this episode of the JAR Media Podcast.
Yeah, right, everybody.
Hey, how are you all doing on this fine Friday evening?
Pretty tired.
Don't you mean Monday evening, dog?
I can tell this is going to be a good one.
It's going to be a fantastic one. So, how has all of our weeks been?
I've been awake for 24 hours, bitch.
Jim's been awake for 24 hours. I was up at 6 a.m. today.
I was up normal time.
What's normal time?
7:10 is normal time. And then I wake up in 15 minutes, so I get changed, brush my teeth, don't eat in 15 minutes.
What is your morning ritual? Because everyone has to have a certain amount of time to get going or whatever.
Okay, so I get up at 7. I spend 10 minutes looking at what's happened on Twitter just to look if there's anything interesting going on. Get out of bed, brush my teeth, put clothes on, do everything, go downstairs, pick up my keys, leave.
Okay.
So I don't really do much. I pretty much leave.
I give myself a good hour and 10.
How? How can you
10 minutes to wake up.
Yeah.
And then an hour to poo, shower, eat, feed Argy, let Argy do a poo. Then by then, I need to do another poo.
Damn,
so that's
some sweet as fuck shit.
So on a normal working day, yeah. So what do you do on a weekend then?
On the weekend, similar.
Yeah. On the weekend, it's get out of bed, eat, and that's it. That's it. I'm up. It's not like I have this, because there's people who when they get up they're really dead, like zombies, and it takes them ages.
Nah, I'm not like that.
I'm I can get out of bed and go on a marathon instantly. I'm just up.
Have you ever run a marathon?
No, I'd probably die within the first hour.
So we should probably acknowledge something. We paid a lot of money. Oh, I can't do it. I was going to.
What are you doing? what are you actually doing?
We paid a lot of money for Ryan Johnson.
No! I was going to say we paid a lot of money for a camera expert and lighting expert to come in. Sort out how the podcast
This is the last jar die. More like the last jar dies.
We should actually make that a blab one day where we actually...
That would have been an awesome name for the topic we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yeah, bro.
So... we got a professional to come in and sort of spruce up the camera, the lighting.
It's just been lacking a lot, our cast.
So we're hoping you guys are going to see kind of up production.
Our cinematographer's initials are RJ, just by the way.
Ray William Johnson. Is that why The Last Jedi is so bad?
Oh shit. It was directed by Ray William Johnson.
This actually tears the mask off.
I got that nerd rage.
So, Ryan Johnson's been in the news recently.
Has he raped any children?
No, that was someone else. That was probably the other one. Ray William Johnson. No. Ryan Johnson hilariously endorses fan remake of The Last Jedi.
Do you have the actual tweet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. Tweet.
So someone tweeted... They've got a Twitter handle at RM The Last Jedi.
Have you seen what their banner is on Twitter?
It's Ryan Johnson on Ray's head handing Ray's lightsaber, but they've photoshopped a script, the front page of a script, with the title saying Star Wars The Last Jedi by anyone but me, preferably people who know Star Wars. So this Twitter handle is at RM The Last Jedi.
But the problem there
The Last Jedi.
Isn't the thing about Ryan Johnson the fact that he looked into the Star Wars lore intensely for The Last Jedi? Like, I've imagine seen tweets in where people are like, oh, but the Force doesn't do that. And he was just like, here, in this book on this thing, it says it can. So I'm pretty sure he, like, did a lot of research for, like, the Force stuff in it. So it's like...
It's effectively a Last Jedi, like, hate account, kind of.
Their
pinned tweets reads, our team of producers is offering to cover the budget for a remake of The Last Jedi in order to save Star Wars. Share this and spread the word to let Disney know you want this. This isn't a joke. We're ready to have the convo now.
I think this either originates from 4chan as a meme, or probably Reddit as a meme.
So to which, but to Ryan Johnson quote tweeted this tweet just saying, please, 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 actually happen. Please, 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 with loads of these emojis, you know.
Praying.
And then they quote tweeted it. Lots of quote tweets going on. Saying,
quote tweetception.
you know the movie is bad when its own director is begging for a remake. So clearly these people aren't the brightest, but how do we feel about this one?
It's just a bunch of just internet people like, this movie that was just fun is bad. We should remake it.
I don't understand like what they're trying to do though. They're pretending to be producers. Because what producers would speak like that?
No one. They claim to have about $11 million pledged, but even if they do, they could not make a Star Wars movie with that.
Yeah, that's not.
They probably couldn't even get.
Yeah, good luck finding the capital to make a Star Wars movie. What a waste of time.
Do you think this is all like a scam where they're just like, give us all the donations, and then they just disappear and they buy Lamborghinis and drive off into the sunset? It's possible.
Even Seth Rogen had something to say.
Did he?
Yep.
Come on, Seth. Come in with your witty...
Seth Rogen replied to the tweet saying, yo, I'm very confused as to what your goal is here. You literally want to spend $200 million remaking The Last Jedi, and someone is giving you that money? ? I don't get it.
Why don't they just make a new movie? A new Star Wars movie? And then there's
like a whole thread. They replied to it saying, not just spend, invest. Good Roy. Then he replied saying, okay, is someone actually investing money in this? How did you get investors without a script or stars or director or legal ability to make this movie? Those have been important elements in the past. And then they remake The Last Jedi said, it's a pretty solid brand, so that's how the investors know they'd have a good shot at making money. To get the legal rights, we would need a meeting with Disney, which would require getting their attention. We got yours, didn't we? What did you think of The Last Jedi? So Seth Rogen finally replied, so do you already have investors? Like, you already got people to invest money with the hopes that Disney will let you make it, which there is no reason or historical precedent for. I reread your other tweet. So from what I gather, you don't have investors, so Disney would just be entrusting you with the IP in the hopes you do justice and are able to pay for it. Is that the plan? I'm so curious how this is supposed to work. So Jamie, you had something you wanted to say about it?
I mean, my whole thing I wanted to say on here was like completely separate from the actual thing.
You wanted to use it as a springboard to talk about.
That's right. To talk about. I mean, these people that claim to be producers with investors and shit.
For a bit of reference, they have 5,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they're just nobodies. And I do hope they are self-aware 4chaners, because otherwise those kind of actual people existing is just so embarrassing.
It would. It has to be a joke.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it being.
Well, they have a website, and there's like a total pledged thing, which I don't really understand. It says 90 million. Which I somehow doubt.
Oh, definitely. If that can, Jim, make a GoFundMe, mate. We've got like 10. We can get like 100 million.
If you're stupid enough to donate to this, I mean,
if people are actually donating money like straight out of the pocket, then they're getting scammed. They're just gonna like take the money and
Yeah, there's no 90 million.
That's an insane amount of money. From
a Twitter account that has 5,000
Well, no,
followers.
it's obviously not true. But
No,
anyway.
definitely not.
Yeah.
You go with what you wanted to say.
These kind of people actually exist, whether these specific ones are jokes or not. And they believe The Last Jedi has stabbed Star Wars through the heart, and Star Wars is now dead.
Right. Star Wars is ruined, yeah.
I mean, ignoring the prequels, because I mean, you can watch the original trilogy, you know,
Yeah.
and have a complete story. Whereas The Force Awakens, that existing actively undoes, like, the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
And just fucks up a lot of shit, bro.
So what you're saying is
What I'm saying
people
is
should
that
be angry at Force
if you're
Awakens,
going to
or-
be that angry at The Last Jedi, some of the blame does have to fall on The Force Awakens. Because
Why? Explain yourself.
making a sequel to the flaws that are so ingrained in The Force Awakens, like, I don't know what the fuck you could do to retroactively make Rey interesting, to give, like,
See,
Finn.
there'll always be someone
shit
who will
to
argue
do.
with you and say, no, there was actually a great foundation for a potentially interesting story that would have, if you made a good sequel, would have enriched the first movie and only made it better.
No.
You can't win, Jim. I've learned
Yes, you
this
can.
from my fucking Star Wars
Did you
videos.
cry when Han Solo died?
No.
Case closed.
The only thing I can say is
Jim,
that
we're talking about the fucking nerdiest property in the world with the biggest audience. I said to you earlier, at this point the fan base is fragmented. We have original trilogy fans, we have prequel fans, we have sequel fans, we have Star Wars story fans, Clone Wars fans. That is so many, and people who are fans of the old, like, expanded trilogy or expanded universe. So how are you gonna satisfy anyone?
What,
You're always gonna have a
with
group of
The
people who are
Force
upset
Awakens
from this
or-
point.
No, but you can do a sequel that is a good movie on its own,
Right.
which The Force Awakens absolutely isn't.
No, it's reliant. It's like a nostalgia-filled, you know,
And it
fanboy thing. It's fine.
it looks good from a technical standpoint, and I mean it functions,
It doesn't build off what was set up.
but yeah, it's like a Chinese takeaway.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe it.
You eat till your tum tum is gonna
Like, it's
vom,
fine. You love tasting it.
and then
You're having a good time eating it, and then it's over, and then you're still hungry.
and then an hour later you feel sick.
It's just like, Matt, why do people hold Star Wars in such high regard? Like, I love Star Wars, but Jesus Christ, I mean, other things exist in this world.
Yeah, I know.
You know, there are other parts of entertainment that exist.
it's because it's Star Wars.
Yeah, it's something about Star Wars. Like, okay, so even say I'm someone who thinks The Last Jedi is ruined Star Wars to the point where the whole thing now sucks. Okay, I'll find something else I like then. I've had plenty of things ruined for me. I just move on, like anyone just moves on.
I think it's like they become obsessed with it. So they can't just move on because it's like
it's true fanboyism. Like, absolutely adore House of Cards, me. Last season, really didn't like. Don't really care about the new one. Moved on with my life. Like a rational, normal human would.
Well, I think
Who has a barrier between what is real life and what is entertainment and what is actually important.
The thing with Star Wars is that there's always been such big gaps in between.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter what generation you're from at this point, like, it's if you like Star Wars, it's going to be in a place that's sort of deep, like a meaningful memory to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because Star Wars was a big deal when it was first a thing for the old people now, and then the prequels came out.
It's been romanticized to the point where it's like farcical.
Yeah.
In my ideal world, it would have just ended with Jedi. Never touched again. Leave all the expanded universe. Just fucking leave it. It's the kind of thing. It's just pointless. It's just like from there. What you're gonna do? What? Finish the story with the Will o' the Wisps or whatever. Fuck off. James, you got anything?
Not really. I can't add anything to Star Wars because it's just...
No one can.
Well, I don't care. I don't care about Star Wars enough. Just.
I mean, I feel like if they do somehow, through some miraculous thing, they're not bullshitting, and they do remake The Last Jedi.
It wouldn't be The Last Jedi.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be The Last Jedi. But let's say something ends up being made from this, like a fan project. It's going to be hilarious. So
let's all just donate and see what fucking bullshit they make.
Yeah, let's not endorse donating because it's most likely a scam. But
oh yeah, don't actually donate.
Yeah, so that's the Star Wars one. Probably should have done that in a blab. Too late now.
Whoa.
Yeah, bro.
Nice
that dab?
moves.
So something has happened in my week of note. I did an intensive driving course because if you don't know, I'm 24, never learned to drive. Did an intensive course, did my test this morning, passed with 2 minors.
Yes, boy.
Same exact result as James, actually.
See, we're equal.
So we're kind of both like Senna in a way. We both go for gap.
No, you'd be the Alan Prost and I'd be the Senna.
So you're the one who dies horribly.
Yes.
Yeah, so driving. Can do that now.
You just need to get a car and you'll be
Need to
on
get
the
car
road.
insurance.
He's gonna buy a Lamborghini.
I'm not gonna buy a Lamborghini.
What's the difficulty rating out of 10?
What, driving?
Yeah.
The actual act of driving is not difficult whatsoever.
No.
It's actually quite fun.
It's easy.
The challenge comes in when you have to pass a government design test.
Right. Okay, in terms of the test and playing Bloodborne, which did you find more challenging?
I found Bloodborne harder than passing the test, but
You heard it here, folks.
Driving in real life is Bloodborne?
yeah, but that's our next headline. Driving is Dark Souls? No, in terms of, I played Bloodborne for what, a couple hours?
Yeah, bro.
I did from 9 a.m. to like 2 p.m. driving every day. So if I played Bloodborne that much, I probably would be quite good at Bloodborne.
No, you probably won't, to be honest.
I'm gonna have to give him an intensive Bloodborne course.
You basically were. It was weird. I was playing Bloodborne earlier on my PS4 and Jim was... The way you were teaching me about the game was weirdly similar to the way my instructor was.
It's my destiny.
It's like, no, you got to lock on more. No,
Dave's going to become
like,
a professional.
oh, you got to do it this way, and asking questions, and it's like learning a skill, that one. So now half of Jar can drive.
Half of Jar can carry the rest of Jar to Wagamama's.
And only one member of Jar is sick as fuck at Bloodborne.
But that's
That's
actually
true.
good, because now that you've passed your driving, you can get a car. That means I don't have to drive my car that scrapes everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Score 1 for the boys back home.
So that happened with me.
So let's all give a round of applause.
I said, yeah, at the end of the test when they were like, congratulations, you have passed. And I was like, oh, thank God.
And we're going to go for
Oh,
sick as
Jesus
fuck
Christ.
Caspers today.
Then I was like, because he was like, oh, he asked some question that led to me saying, yeah, well, I'm actually 24 and I've left it quite late. And he was like, it's actually extremely common. It's not even weird. You're actually quite young.
Oh. That's
I was like,
interesting.
So I didn't realise that. I thought you come under the assumption that
It's like the...
most people do as soon as
Yeah.
they're 17.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more of a thing in in America and other countries around the world
No,
where they
like
can actually afford it. But
no, most people do learn to drive when they're 17.
most people,
Yeah, it's common.
it's common, but I don't know if it is most.
It's like when you're in school and you get 17, it's like, I'm doing driving lessons, yeah.
I could understand why it's not most, because not all parents are rich.
Especially now, it's, what is it? Something like you have to spend 3-4 grand just to get on the road minimum, including driving,
buying a car,
insurance,
depends on what car you buy.
Yeah.
Insurance, tax, petrol.
There's actually an article from the Telegraph with the headline, "Record decline in teenagers learning to drive, figures show."
Wow. Oh, speaking of statistics, do you want to know something weird?
What's that?
So far this year in America, more white people have died than white people have been born.
Wait, repeat that?
What?
This year in America,
Right.
more white people have died than white people have been born.
What? How?
Fuck knows.
What's killed
No,
them?
that's actually, how is that actually possible? Because you think how many babies are born each day in America? Surely that's a large amount.
Well,
Imagine a large amount of them are white.
Maybe the shootings so far have added up. I don't know.
No, but if there was a mass shooting every day, statistically, you'd still be giving birth to more babies and
Not
people
a
dying.
mass shooting.
Just
A
like
mass shooting in every state and every
Where did you read this, Jim? How the fuck could I ever find any?
I
don't know. It was
I
like
think that's
a-
bullshit.
It was a Twitter moment or something. Some study said of these specific states or something. I don't know.
So
But I mean,
basically,
even for a state to have more people die than be born,
Jim. So basically,
unless it's saying,
I found the headline now.
I think I figured this one out
okay,
because in like mixed race,
yeah.
right?
And
So
that's
if
what-
all
this
the
is the
white
headline,
people are
Jim.
having sex
White
with
people are dying faster than they are being born in the majority of US. White people in America are dying off at a faster rate than they are being born. For the first time in US history, more white people died than were born in 2016. Data indicates white people could be a minority sooner than previously thought. I'm trying to figure...
Okay, this is white
Like-
genocide. We're fucked, guys.
They were right. The white supremacists were right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't have that audio bite floating around. More white people died than were born in 26 states in the US in 2016.
But surely
What is the deal with that?
So surely they must be counting some people are born who are like mixed race, but like more white than like anything else. So surely they count them as mixed race when it's like
When then they're not counted as white.
yeah, but they're more white they are mixed mixed race.
I mean, that could be an answer, but I
because you
don't
think
know.
how many like states in America have like different populations? Like there's Hispanics and different.
Yeah.
So surely there is like a Spain where there's like an interlock.
Mm.
So surely there is there's people being born who are like each way on that one. So surely those might not be counted into that when the people might be, you know.
So
Should
it does compare other races
Yeah.
across
but
racial lines.
Mixed race isn't there, is it?
Well, it says, comparatively, African Americans only saw a decline in one state. Asians and Pacific Islanders only saw a decline in Hawaii. Meanwhile, Latino births exceed deaths in every state in the nation.
Basically, all of the young boys are just like, I want me a Latino girl.
That's
So they're just impregnating the Latinos. Basically.
that's a bad there's a stereotype because like in Mexico the age of consent is like 12 years old or some shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the
That could be a problem in 50 years.
The stereotype is that Latinos fuck like rabbits. I guess it's not a
But
stereotype.
birth rates are
after all.
falling
Mm.
among all races, and a bigger issue could be the lack of young people to support aging baby boomers, said Dowell Myers.
I think it's a case of we are in the generation where babies are not on our mind as much as older generations.
Yeah.
Now it's more like younger people are focused on careers.
Well, yeah, because like all the prospects are quite different.
Exactly. So we have to work more to be able to get to the same way our older generations did. It's it's similar to what's like happened in Japan, because they're so focused on their society that you have to work. They're not having babies. That's why their birth rate is declining. Is that now happening in America?
It says, we have a shortage of babies being born overall, Myers said. Without immigrants, we're really in the hole. We should be grateful for the contribution of these mothers.
So basically...
Why do we want more people?
We need to...
It's not that you want more people, you want I guess, sustainable, predictable stream of people coming and going.
Ideally you want
a line.
The same.
You just want a flat line, yeah.
As many people die.
I mean. Sustainable, predictable, continuous stream of people.
Otherwise you end up needing a Thanos. But I just
don't understand how this works though when everywhere population is up.
Yeah. I don't know how accurate the study is.
It must be up simply
seems ridiculous because I mean
it is a fucking Daily Mail article, so bear that.
Well, there you go. That kind of explains it.
There's also a time one.
I mean, one person has 2 kids, and then each of them has 2 kids.
It's tripling, it's doubling,
it's exponential.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
You only have to have more than 1 kid to potentially just fucking make an entire gene pool. It's fucked up, bro.
We have to take that with a grain of salt. Like, that doesn't make sense at all.
It's also like how there's so many variables. How are you supposed to measure something like that?
Yeah.
Like, surely the most accurate thing is like what population's been doing? Oh, going up loads. So more people are being born. I guess you can use NHS numbers or in America, whatever data they have on people to figure out, oh, this many of this racial minority and blah blah blah. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? What if it like switched in 200 years?
Would it matter at all? Because surely we're equal.
Hopefully you'd be, diverse enough and open enough in countries like ours.
So I was actually wrong in what I said. White supremacists are wrong.
No.
Because the white people are falling, proving that they're genetically weaker than the other races.
But the whole white supremacist thing is they're saying that the white genocide. The whites are like being destroyed. That's the whole thing, isn't it?
I suppose there's
That's why they're white supremacists.
I'm sure fucking Daily Mail, like...
Well, there were others from more reputable...
Google white supremacist and find out what the whole thing is, okay?
Well, I don't think there is one. It's up to interpretation.
Yeah.
There's definitely like that movement in America.
Yeah, I've heard the term white genocide.
No, it's definitely a thing here as well, because all like, oh no.
White supremacy is a racist ideology based upon the belief that white people are superior in many ways to other people.
Yeah, okay, we know that.
And therefore...
No, so we know the definition of it.
And therefore white people should be dominant over other races.
Not what you're saying. I'm saying we know what it means. I'm saying, like...
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying, yeah, like find out what the whole white genocide like thing is of in America. Like what that whole jazz is. Because I remember like it being like quite a joke for a while, like the whites are dying.
Yeah. What would a world where... Well, I mean, we're kind of at a disadvantage now, because being porcelain soldiers is kind of ugly.
What?
Right?
Porcelain soldiers. I think your terminology there kind of clouded your...
porcelain people.
Like plates.
Yeah, we're like fucking plates. We're living plates. Look at us. Look at my legs. Everyone in the comments is always making fun of me. Being racist! No, yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
never be racist.
Is there a problem with like...
I don't personally
doing things with other races? No.
Whatever, bro.
So why does it matter?
Whiteys.
Fucking whiteys.
White ass honkies.
With that,
The audacity of the caucasity.
yeah. With that, we'll be back after these Caucasian messages.
Now, the following contains harsh language. If you're not used to the word fuck or any of the bad words, I suggest you don't watch this. Ay, 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 ay.
Damn, son, weren't those some
Basically.
fancy Caucasian messages?
So as always, head over to the Jar Media Reddit page.
To
where you
be
can
racist
leave, no,
and
to not be racist, to leave questions for us to answer in this part of the
as in to
show.
us. They can be racist to us, okay? It's okay,
I, mean,
Jim.
I would rather not encourage racism, but
I know, don't be racist. We're decent human
Free
beings.
speech, baby.
ooh. Tylee Jirachi says parents cast when?
Never.
We'll do a Beltman one at some point.
Yeah.
That'll be funny.
The Beltmen are coming out to play. Hey, hey, hey.
Nice.
Belt man.
We get a lot of questions asking us about times we've lied. People are like obsessed with lies.
You've pretty much explained your lies.
Well, Iger Oster asks, stupidest needless lie you remember telling as a child? Alex can tell one from his adulthood as well. I'm sure he has plentiful.
I said some shit in school. Like, I lied a few times in school.
I can't remember any significant ones.
I said some dumb lies.
Don't really remember any James lies. None are coming to mind.
I don't lie, that's the thing. So you don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm so good at lying, just don't realise.
What about your claim that you have a large penis?
That's not a lie.
Oh yeah. That's the thing. We'll never know with that one until we check.
Until we choke him out and fucking whip his todger out.
Well, then it'd be nothing, because it'd be fucking flaccid, so...
And?
You can't edge or anything on a flaccid penis.
We'll go on Crackdown and we'll get shot with a rocket launcher and we'll vibrate the controller. We hold it to your bell and it'll go...
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, strap James up and show him that poster that you
No.
had an affinity
Oh, the
for.
Kitty Club poster.
Yeah.
Have we mentioned that for context? In the video game Crackdown for Xbox.
Rich, let's be real, it launched in like 2007
Yeah.
or 6.
2006,
well,
yeah.
Crack-
So
Crackdown.
I was like 12, okay? Come
Yeah.
on.
Okay, that's we've all got.
I was getting used to that world, Alex.
Well, the story is in the original Crackdown. There's like a poster of some woman.
It's like, say...
It's like a woman in like a cat lingerie thing.
Yeah, it's like a really low res.
That's
terrible
what
quality
started
picture.
the whole weird anime shit.
Like in the game, and it was James's like introduction to
Erections.
women sexually. Anyway, lies. Got any lies? Do you remember any, Jim, that I would try and lie? We've talked about all the best lies.
It's just like...
Just complete nonsense.
Well, it's so much.
So much. Okay.
Like, so many.
The quantity's so high you can't remember any.
Yeah. I mean, like, I could say any and they're just equal to all the rest. And we've already said many. Do you understand?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just to see what you can get away with. I don't really have any because I've already said all the good ones.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
And we have a possible debate on our hands if James is going to be difficult again.
You make it sound as if I'm
Futuristic
not
Bagel asks, opinions on cold pizza. Make sure you go in depth for this one.
easy. Oh, it's a Jar Discord meme. Anyway, nah. Because when you have cold pizza, the cheese gets really hard. So what you do is you just stick it in the microwave, reheat it, and then it's better.
So your stance is for warm pizza?
Actually,
should
no,
be?
I will edit this. So when you get like a Domino's, you order it in, whatever you have on it, who cares? But then the best way to eat it is to leave it for like 10-15 minutes. It doesn't go cold, but it goes like slightly warm. That's the best time to eat it.
You like
Yeah.
tepid.
James is a down the middle kind of fella.
No, but then with Domino's, specifically, reheating it in the microwave actually tastes better than buying it normally. Like
That I disagree with, but
Yeah.
Oh no. When you get leftovers.
Do you want to know something you never want to do ever?
What?
Stuffed crust, cold or reheated.
Oh no, yeah, that definitely
It's
doesn't
fucked.
work.
you can do it. You do it in the oven.
it's fucked.
No, you can't oven
It's not
reheat
right.
anything.
It's
You
like
can.
No, you can't. Have you tried oven reheating like fish and chip chips?
No,
Fucking
that
awful.
one doesn't work. With Domino's, you can oven reheat. I've done it.
I know
many
you
times.
microwave reheat. It's a lot better.
It's
Like
not better.
the cheese
is
is
not.
nicer.
No, it's not. It's actually way worse in every way.
No. When I get a Domino's, I eat 2 slices when it's like out of the box. I put some on the plate and just leave it there. Come down like 15 minutes later, have another slice, put the rest in the fridge. Next morning, breakfast.
Oven
Reheat.
reheat is superior.
No.
I just get the best of all worlds because you eat it, and because you've got like a large and a medium pizza to yourself, you get to slowly experience the piping hot, the regular hot,
Not all of us buy 2 pizzas.
all the
Jim.
way down to regular cold.
Where do you stand, Jim? Cold or hot?
Hot.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. It should be eaten hot. It's supposed to be eaten hot.
When you go to an Italian restaurant and they give you pizza,
It's not
they
cold.
give it to you from a fucking fridge.
They don't microwave it. No, someday. No, James. Okay, but you said it's meant to be hot.
Oh yeah,
But
you're
you
supposed
like-
to eat.
No, you
I
like
like-
cold pasta.
Mm. Oh, is this because I made a tweet about cold pasta?
Yeah, it must be because you were like, yeah, cold pasta is far superior.
Oh,
which
no,
again
no,
is
no.
wrong.
That is
Okay.
no. Like certain like pasta salads, but they're meant to be cold, and they're nice.
Okay, this comes from the fact that like, you're having dinner, I made a pasta dish, you get leftovers. Like that leftover.
I fucking hate leftover pasta.
I know, I love it.
It's wrong.
No,
It's
'cause,
all like stuck together and.
okay, it does get a bit stuck together, but it's like, I enjoyed eating it then, and then I take it to work. So like work when you're having a working day and you're on lunch, you're having a proper meal, which is cold pasta, and it just tastes fucking. It's the best tasting pasta because you're working. That's why I think it's just like a psychological
So
thing.
you're wrong then.
No.
It's not better.
No, but
So
I'm
you'd
saying,
be happy if you ordered a bolognese from an Italian restaurant and it was fucking cold when it came out. They're
No.
like, yeah, we got the one from yesterday. Just pretend you're at work, mate, and it might be nice.
No,
They
I'm
just
not
give you
saying
some
that.
documents to fill out.
Yeah, fill
No,
out
I'm
this
saying, like-
spreadsheet and it'll be nicer.
when like if I go to the shops to get some lunch and there's like a pasta pot,
Oh fuck.
like I will buy that and I'll really enjoy eating it because I like cold pasta. It's like you experience. There's a lot of sides to pasta. There's the cold and the hot, and there's different stuff with different tastes and everything when you get different pastas. So you experience one half it hot and it's lovely, and then cold it's like you experience a different kind. It's lovely. It's a good mix. You shouldn't throw
No.
out the other. I don't think. You should be open.
No.
To be honest, I actually had carbonara like a few days ago, and I took the rest of it for lunch today. Stuck it in the microwave, and it was just rancid. But reheated
I'm not saying cold
pasta.
pasta's bad, it's just not as good.
No, like reheated pasta does not work. Reheated pasta fucks up pasta.
If you're having carbonara, you've probably got to add some additional milk or something to reheat it.
Milk.
Yeah, because when you have macaroni cheese that's been in the fridge overnight, you need to add a bit of milk. You add milk to make white sauce. Why are you laughing? Maybe you need to add an egg to carbonara.
Just
I don't
imagining you
fucking
like
know.
pouring milk into the bowl.
like cereal.
The crunchy cold pasta is milk.
Have you never had day after macaroni cheese? That sucks dick. But if you're in need of some macaroni cheese,
No, because I just get out my my box of pre-made macaroni cheese and chuck it in the whatever.
No,
never had
the
it.
one thing that does not work reheated is rice. Like you can't fucking reheat rice.
It's actually also a bit dangerous too.
It fucks
Is
up
it?
completely.
what about like from the Chinese egg fried rice?
You shouldn't leave rice out, not refrigerated for
You had that issue, but whenever you got Chinese, it'd just be left on the side.
Mhm. Yeah, rice can grow a certain bacteria if left out in like tepid, warm heat for a certain amount of time. So
Throw it in
be
the bin.
careful with that one. Fucking hell, the farts. The farts.
It's
today.
actually disgusting. Like you two today are just disappointing.
Then your kids like falafel.
Falafel is awesome, but holy fuck, do the farts come a running.
What even is falafel?
Shall I Google it?
I used to think it was like a type of waffle. Full,
It would be too
full
bad
waffle?
for you if it was.
For waffle?
Falafel or falafel is a deep-fried ball, donut, or patty made from ground chickpeas. Well, there you go. Fava beans, or both. Falafel
Beans.
is a traditional Middle Eastern food that most likely originated in Egypt. Can't eat it anymore then. That is cultural appropriation.
Fuck's sake.
Am I culturally appropriating people? Like the Japanese?
Yeah, where is the line with food? Like they say, or some say, like if you do your hair a certain way or wear certain clothes, that's
cultural appropriation?
But is the Chinese restaurant somehow racist?
You can't. If someone did pull that, it'd be so retarded because like with foods, they become hybrids. Like they mash into and become a new thing.
Yeah. Like
So I
what
don't
are we
know how
supposed
they
to
can
do in
pull it.
England as well? Like
Everything is just kind of everything.
we are quite a mixing pot of a country.
We always have been. It's just England.
So what if we can no longer eat curry?
Well, curry's not
Chinese
like purely
food,
Indian,
Thai
is it?
food, Japanese food.
Indian
All we'd have
food.
left are bangers and mash and fucking fish and chips. It'd be awful.
I'd kill myself.
I'd fucking love it for like a week and then kill myself.
I fucking hate fish and chips. And bangers and mash is pretty awesome, but can you imagine eating it in summer? It's like...
No, like a lot of like traditional English food is quite shit.
Well,
to be honest.
it's just fucking like
Toad in
Gravy.
the hole.
it just makes me think
Sausage.
of like industrial.
England, really?
Yeah.
Like
England,
Margaret
where it's
Thatcher
like-
coming down your house.
Yeah, I've been up a chimney all day long. What do I feel like? Yeah, some fucking bangers and mash. That'll keep me going until.
That's not what I think of when I think of bangers and mash.
What do you think of?
When you think of a traditional English family, the dad's just come home from
From a
being an
build-
estate agent. Mum's come home from being a
estate
teacher.
agent. You mean a fucking builder, a manual labourer, Alex? That's a
Okay,
traditional
either an
English
estate
family.
agent
Do you
or a
think the
builder.
Queen has ever had bangers and mash?
Yeah.
She's probably had like toad in the hole or a shepherd's
No,
pie.
but the Queen's bangers
York-
and mash would be a little different to Mummy's
Yeah.
bangers and mash.
It'll
Not
be
just
It would
The
be like,
sausage sticking
it'd be
out
like
mash.
the rarest pig in the world that's been hunted. Especially for her. And the potatoes will be from like Papua New Guinea.
and they've been like mashed like over 7 years
the creamiest, softest mash
out of a can.
and
It's
the
smashed.
biggest bangers.
And she'll take her 12th fork and her 15th knife, and she'll cut a little triangle out of it and taste it and say, "Oh, that was delicious."
Do you think the Queen has ever tried heroin?
Do you think
I
that's-
don't know how often they're like supervised. The Queen might actually be a stoner for all we know. Maybe it's how she's lived so long. Just so fucking
Maybe.
relaxed. She's just like, I don't know why the government keeps paying me, but I'm just gonna keep living. Awesome! What a gig that would be.
What if just before she died, she made weed legal?
I think you're giving the Queen too much credit on the actual power she has over government.
Nothing.
I think
but
she
none.
sits in the room while they talk, and then she's like, "Oh, here's my little plan," and they're like,
Yeah, okay.
"Yeah, right,
man.
Queenie." And then they're just, or they're
She's
like,
just bullied by all the actual
or,
politicians.
or they're like, "Yeah, yeah," and then they like turn back and they're like, "Anyway, so."
My
And then
wisdom
she'll
tooth
get-
feels like it's fucking vibrating within my skull.
What does?
My wisdom tooth.
Oh, is it a bit painy?
It's not pain. Kinda. It feels like it's reverberating.
Acid rain.
But only when I
reverberating through my
talk.
veins.
It's like buzz, buzz.
Mandra says, "What album do you not skip a single song on?"
None, because perfect albums don't exist.
That's wrong.
No, it's not.
It's not wrong.
I have some.
In James's opinion, there's no perfect album. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, he
Alright,
didn't say in his
fucking
opinion. He was
back off.
saying. He was saying he can't do it.
It was implied.
Well, no, because there's always like a song where it's just like, I'm not feeling that today. You've
the
got
thing,
you've got to
like-
consider mood is also happens when you listen to music.
The-
So if you don't feel like a song, you're gonna skip it. So that
Oh, for God's sake. What?
that's incorrect. It's not true. If you
For
can't.
yeah, for me.
No.
No. Not at all.
So you're saying when you're a bit like down, you're just like you listen to a full album, don't like be a bit like I'm not feeling that today.
Not
Don't
every day.
bullshit me because you know you do.
So
If you're all about if it's like an album that's like really good songs and then the really
there are
like,
so many albums I'll just put on and go through every song.
because that's what no. We listen to music differently. That's the thing.
Yeah, like
You-
recently I've been listening to a band called Snowmine a lot. They only have 2 albums, and I just chuck the album on. It goes through the whole thing, and then I go to the next one, go through the whole
No,
thing.
but no,
Won't
we
skip a
listen to
single one.
music differently. You have it on while you're just working. You just have it in the background.
No.
When I listen to
When
music,
walk
I
party
listen
and
to it.
stuff, I listen to it. I listen to it.
No, it's different.
It's not
It's
different.
different.
It's not different.
It's different.
The way we
Alex.
listen to music isn't different. It's the taste that's different.
No, it's not the taste. It's the way you listen to it.
That's
You
not
listen
true.
to it to have it in the background.
No, I
to be
don't.
like noise, not just like
No, I don't.
I'm really into this song.
not true
I'm
at
gonna
all.
go do some.
When I walk argy and go
Okay,
on my
yeah.
exercise bike.
No,
in
but
the
how
garage.
often? No. How often do you just come into a room like this one, and you're just listening to something, and you're not really listening to it?
Constantly.
Exactly. So you're listening to it different because I don't do that.
No, that's
No, don't argue with me. Don't
no.
argue with me. No. Jim, what's your
I'm
opinion?
constantly listening to music.
Doesn't mean you listen to it. You just have it on in the background.
No,
Okay, Ruben has it on in the background.
but like,
On, like,
just because
volume
sometimes
50.
you have it on in the background doesn't mean at other times
No, it's so
you
when.
can't like filter it out.
Yes, you can. If you're
I
having,
have a work playlist.
you're wrong. Jim, what's your opinion? Okay, no,
It's
okay.
basically, what albums do you really love?
I
That's the
don't
question.
know because there's always songs that are just like I'm not feeling it. You know, I'm
So
not
for
feeling
you,
it
there
today.
isn't one.
No.
It's basically.
Yeah, basically. Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna prove that you guys are not correct.
No.
I'm gonna go to my Spotify and I'm gonna go to albums. And I'm gonna.
Do you want to
see
give
what
an
albums
example of one of yours?
I just gave 2. The EP, Add Violence by 9 Inch Nails. Happily listen through the whole thing. Ian Brown albums, the Music of the Spheres. Just listen to all that. Demon Days.
It's a good album.
Most of Remain in Light by Talking Heads. Most of Tame Impala's music. Mac DeMarco. I mean,
I'd have to drop The Wall in there.
yeah, loads of Pink Floyd albums. Just happily
Mhm.
listen through the whole thing.
I think The Wall, for me, is like so often I'll just put on one song from it and be like, whoa, I've got to listen to the whole thing now. Whereas the other ones, there's always one bit that's like,
Yeah, some of them. Haiku from Zero by Cut Copy. Just listen to every song in a row. Because then instead of an album being more like the singles you like, then it's like it's almost like a story you like.
yeah.
It's like, oh, I know what's coming next. I'm looking forward to that bit. And it's like you like the journey of it all.
I'm trying to find this album. that
Lots
I
of Future Islands albums. I just like listening to the whole thing.
I'd say Boarding House Reach by Jack White, his latest album.
Run the Jewels 3.
No, One the Jewels. There's a few that are just like.
For you fucking hater.
I can't see what everything.
Roosevelt by Roosevelt.
Sue Ravel by Sue Ravel.
Lord's first album. Don't judge me.
I'm trying to find.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably enough. Magical Mystery Tour. Sergeant Pepper's. Poopy Butt Poo.
Actually,
Fart. That one. Yeah. Poo poo poo. Farty fart.
Just fucking shit in a blanket.
Speaking of music, fucking These fucking names. Something Angel. Do you guys try to get into the
Actually,
lore?
no, there is one.
God damn it,
It's Lift Yourself by Kanye West. That's a good album.
Okay.
Do you guys try to get into the lore behind Gorillaz, or do you just prefer to listen to the music?
It's just music, you know?
I don't care about the lore.
Neither.
I find it like funny when I hear bits of it.
Yeah, I'm just like,
But I don't
what's
care,
interesting
no.
on now?
It adds more to them as a band, but you know.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, I don't give a shit about that. Like, it's like, you know, something like Dark Souls, where it's like you can just enjoy it for what it is
Yeah.
and turn it off at the end of the day. And then there are the groups of people who love delving deep into it and finding out. I don't really understand how you even find it out, though. It's not.
Yeah,
like,
that's the problem.
I'd probably read it if I knew where to find it. I'm sure someone will tell me.
I just want to know why Bruce Willis was chasing the Stylo car. That's like the only thing I care about.
It's very like absurdist, which isn't a bad thing.
I just kind of wish they told their story more through the music, you know?
I guess.
Because it's kind of weird that they've got their story, and then the music will just be like whatever.
Oh, so
'Cause they're
basically,
supposed to be like a band. And
Yeah.
that's their
Gorillaz-
music, but they're also doing stuff.
Gorillaz is like Destiny but music. The law is like.
No,
Except you,
it's dark.
I'm joking.
No, you're right. Yeah,
sort of.
but good.
Minion Ray 3000 says, "What subject do you think they should teach at school?"
Bloodborne law.
Ethnopolitics.
Bloodborne law. What was your one? Ethnopolitics.
No, they should like teach you something useful, like
How
How
to
about,
live in the wilderness.
how
They
to
do
be
that.
Bear Grylls.
They don't
If you want to,
suck water from the leaves. That's not wilderness survival.
It needs to be something useful, like. No, they should no. No.
They should
you
introduce
fucking learn the
things-
hard way.
No, you shouldn't learn the hard way. You should
Yeah.
introduce things that, like,
Learn the hard way.
council tax exists.
Just life skills, basically.
Yeah, there should be like a. I'm sure some places in
Just
the
a
world do
knowledge.
this, but
Just that you should have
it's
this knowledge.
it's like a bit of a shock once you leave education. You don't go to uni. It's like, well,
I'm fucked.
yeah, it's like, well, I guess I'm fucked then for the rest of my life. My life's just fucked.
And then it's the same thing if you do go to uni. So
Well, it's just like you have a bit more time to
yeah,
be
to be
stressed
not
about
fucked.
it. Yeah.
No, but you are getting fucked because you're just wasting loads of money that you
And
don't
then
have.
some people will get a good job out of it, and then they might be alright after, you know.
10 years of paying back their student debt.
I think
That doesn't go away, but apparently it does.
something they do teach actually is cooking, but I don't think it's particularly taught very well.
No, it's taught
Because
awfully.
it's like,
It's like
bake a cake, make this really specific recipe. They should somehow figure out a way to teach actual skills.
They shouldn't teach baking
they should
because
teach,
that's like a science. They should teach cooking.
they should teach like
Yeah,
knife
that's-
skills, cutting meats, knowing how
Well,
to
it's like
take like
what
that
things
stuff.
go well together. It should
Yeah,
be like
yeah. That's what I mean. Like because
spices and
you can be artful and creative with
yeah, it's all
when
about
it's not baking, when it's not about ratios of sugar and flour and baking soda.
Mhm. Yeah, because baking and cooking are totally different.
Yeah.
So that'd be useful because like
That'd be
when you
very
get
useful.
to uni,
Sandwich making. Holy shit! If I could just take that one part of my dad's brain, how to make just the most amazing
it's like,
sandwich.
how do you do that?
Like I'll look in the fridge and be like, "There's nothing," and then my dad goes in there. I mean, our dad goes in there. 5 minutes later, it just bangs out the most fucking ridiculously amazing sandwich you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
No, I wish I can't make a sandwich for shit. I can't even like butter bread because it fucks up. And I'm just like, it's like I tried to make a ham sandwich. It tastes fucking shit. So I'm just
Ham
like, no,
sandwiches suck.
Because it's just white bread, butter,
ham.
2 slices of ham, other slice of bread.
I can't.
They're awful.
Someone needs to teach me how to make sandwiches. It's like like now in like businesses and business centres, there's always like a van that comes up in the morning with like sandwiches and stuff. And it's like even those sandwiches taste good, and I'm just like, how the fuck
Like,
do I make that?
when you get to uni and it's like you don't necessarily have someone cooking for you anymore, you're just like, oh, I guess I have noodles every day.
I think I'll
have noodles.
corn.
I'll have. So,
Corn sausages.
Dad likes telling us the story of one of his workmates had like a kid who would make bread sandwiches.
Yeah.
Where I think they'd like fry a piece of bread, and then they would put that piece of bread in between two pieces of bread.
Like, let's be real, I'm not that incompetent. I can actually make something as long as I have something to work with. Even those basic things.
That's wilderness survival right there. Like, that's ingenuity.
How do you fry bread in the wilderness? And how do you get bread?
You bake it.
From a fucking cow.
Yeah, but you'd have to be a farmer. Teletran Gamer says, what is the worst attempt at trying to appeal to kids you have seen?
Alex stabbing.
No, that's just for me. That ain't for nobody else.
Bullshit.
Anytime a politician speaks, anytime a businessman speaks. Yeah.
What was the question again?
Fuck's sake, Jim. What's the worst attempt at trying to appeal to kids that you've seen?
Jimmy Savile.
Ooh. There are lots of them. E3 is pretty bad for it.
Oh, E3 is real bad.
I remember one E3 with the garden warfare.
Ooh. The Minecraft one as well. That woman that comes out.
Yeah, the Minecraft woman. Woo!
Holy S.
I find this is like a pet peeve, but like Sainsbury's Basics Cheerios, like they have their fucking animals trying to make it a thing. Fucking cut out this cardboard Jumbo the gorilla and make a keychain out of him or some fucking shit. Like, the kid doesn't give a shit. He wants his Cheerios.
I find that as well. Like, these brands on these like shit companies, they're just like, we need to have activities for kids. And it's just like,
Yeah.
they don't fucking care.
They
Do you
don't
ever
give
do
a
any of them?
shit.
Unless Star Wars was on it, I didn't bother.
Yeah.
Do you remember this, Jim, when the Phantom Menace came out? Like, it was just this marketing fever dream where like everything had Darth Maul on it.
Really?
Everything. Fucking everything had Darth Maul on it.
How would I remember
Like
that?
PG Tips tea bags.
When did that movie come out?
99.
So I was 2.
You might have remembered some of it, I don't know. Because it would have continued, because they made a lot of it. So
Yeah.
for the next few years, just Darth Maul and I guess just loads of like things from Naboo.
Yeah. Jar Jar.
Yeah, Jar Jar, stuff like that. So it's just like cereal where you got a bit of plastic that was molded into roughly the shape of Darth Maul's head, and it's like, well, I guess they got me in because it's at home and I'm looking at it. Just really random shit. It's quite a
Back
weird
then,
time.
when advertising was like a different game, where it's just like, I'll give you 20p if you let me put this in the box.
You know, if that Jaws advert didn't scare you at the showing of the Phantom Menace, you might be on the other side of history when it comes to The Last Jedi.
I might be a... Yeah, my dad took me to the Phantom Menace, and it would have been the first film I ever saw. If it came out in 99, I would have been, what, 5? 5 years old.
If I was
And-
2, yeah.
And because when I was a kid, I had a huge fear of Jaws and E.T., and the pre-trailers bit had like Jaws and E.T. in it.
What
so
did Spielberg do to you?
So I was so scared, we had to leave. Probably would have.
Did you actually leave? Did you actually watch The Phantom Menace? Or
No,
did you just
No,
leave?
we left
You
because
just left.
the pre-advert bits
You
scared
didn't
me.
even go back in?
No, because I was so scared.
Oh my fucking god, Alex.
So,
What? I was
so,
5!
so the first movie he ever saw instead was The Little Mermaid.
At least that's appropriate for children.
Yeah. It's fucking weird at a Star Wars thing. They showed like a Jaws thing. Like, come on, bro.
Actually, saying that, I got really fucking terrified when I saw Jaws. As the movie, I was like, when I was like 5, I actually watched the whole Jaws movie, and I was like fucking terrified.
Wait.
Or is it Jaws? Which is the Jaws where they go underwater and there's like a skeleton? And it pops out. It's like a jump scare. I think that's Jaws 3. That fucking terrified me for a month.
On that note, we're done. for this episode. Shout out to the new producer of the show who's done a fucking awesome job with the camera. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Squeeze them titties, nigga.